What's up everyone? Nick here from Scientifically Stupid, and today I will be showing you part 2 of my how to make an intro. This is going to be mainly the node setup and basically what it looks like rather than animating. I changed one thing from part 1, and that's how dark the blue was. It was a little light and I didn't like it. And I actually got screencast keys to finally start working, so that's good. Now this is actually my fifth time recording this because it crashes every time. And if you don't remember, we ended up with something that looks like this. So it's looking pretty good so far, but it could look even better. To start out, we're going to go to the animation rendering section and change shading. We're going to change it from sky to transparent. We're going to hit new scene, copy settings. I'm going to hit 1 really quickly and then scroll out so that it reorientates the camera correctly. I'm gonna hit Shift A, add mesh UV sphere. I'm gonna scroll out and scale that baby up so that it's hitting each edge of the work plane area. I am also going to add a displace modifier under the deform section and hit new on the texture. Now I'm going to go to the texture tab and change it from imager movie to clouds. Now I'm going to go back to the the modifier, and change the mid-level so that it's pretty much random. Hit copy, change it a little more, copy, change it just so that it's randomized. Now I'm going to go to the material, hit new and select halo, change the size to 1, change the alpha to 0.003. Now I'm going to hit tab and subdivide it twice, and I'm going to scale that up and change the mid-level slightly so that they're not so in the middle, so they're all scattered out. Now if we hit Shift Z, after of course changing the render under shading to sky for this scene, it should look like smoke, and that's what we want. So now I'm going to create another new scene, copy settings, and hit Shift A, UV sphere, kind of like we did last time. Scale it up to about the same size, add a displace modifier under deform, and select the texture, the most recent texture, which should be the cloud texture. If it's not, find your cloud texture that you had earlier. It should look something like this. Mess around, you can change, this stuff so that's more random. But then I'm going to go to my materials, new, halo. This time I'm going to change the size to 0.1 and the alpha to 0.3, and then change the color to a dark blue. Now if I hit Shift Z, it should look like blue specks in the air. That's what I want. Now we're gonna go to scene, just scene. Okay, we're gonna shift select the camera and the empty circle that is parented to the camera. Hit Control L, object to scene 0.001 and 0.002. Then it'll be on all scenes. Now I'm gonna go to compositing section, hit use nodes, and now to make sure this is working, just give it a quick render. Hit F12. And it should render over here on the left. Now this will give us an up-to-date render on what we're doing here. So this is what it looks like right now. I'm actually going to change it over here. I'm going to enter camera view and change it to a section that I can actually see the word blender pretty easily. So that's there. F12, render it. While that's rendering, I'm actually going to take the render layers, hit Shift D, and duplicate it twice so that it is here. I'm going to hit the scene button and change each one to a different scene so they all control different scenes. Now I'm going to hit Shift A and select color and select an alpha over node. Then I'm going to drag the images connector, and I'm going to add a color mixer, set it to add, and drag this in. Should give a quick render of what we are doing. Yes, finally. Every time I have hit F12 to render this out, it has crashed. That's why I'm on the 5th time recording this video. So finally it's actually working. and I do not have to record this again. I've probably wasted about an hour trying to record these. Oh yeah, hold on. Oh yeah, switch these two so that the two on the bottom are actually on the top. And before I do this, go to default and go to the very last scene and change it from sky to transparent. Now if I head back to the compositing, I should be able to re-render that, and it should show up with all three of our scenes overlaid on top of each other. Now while I'm doing that, I'm going to add a filter glare to the last thing. I'm going to get it ready. See, it's showing up just how we want it, and that's looking better already. And I'm actually going to add a fog glow with threshold 0. That's fine for now. Onto the last render, which is our blue specks. See what that changes. And I'm actually going to put 2 of those. Well, that's now, they're more visible. Is fog glow the right one? Yeah, it was. I'm gonna add this one, change this one to ghosts, maybe? See what that does? No. Keep it at fog glow. Add a color, then color balance, and add it into the middle scene. I'm gonna change these two, this one to a dark blue, this one to a lighter blue. And now once it updates, the fog should be like a tint of blue. That's what we want. And now I'm actually going to add a color mix node, drag it up here, and then add a filter sunbeams. Connect this to here, connect that to there. And now, maybe it's an alpha overnode. So I'm gonna add alpha overnode. Yeah, I think that's what it is. And change the ray length to 15, I believe. Now once it, oh yeah, connect this. Don't forget to connect this back down to here. Now when it renders out, should have slight beams. Oh yeah, it's gonna look something like this. You're gonna want to change the factor value of this to, let's say, 0.1, I believe I used in my recent template. I'm actually gonna use 0.15. I think that looks better. It should. Maybe if we add a color balance, Shift D, let's combine those. I don't know if that, hold on. I'm actually going to see if I can add a blur fast Gaussian relative Y. How about 5% right now? Actually, I'm going to change the Y value to 15%. Change that to 1. No. Y value to, let's say, 5 and X value to 15. No, I'm just gonna stick to the sunbeams. I'm gonna keep that there. And now we're gonna head over to the composite section, and we're going to add a color mix. Set it right here. Set this color to black. Factor to 0. Actually, make sure you're on the very first frame. Set the factor input to 1. Keyframe it. Go to frame 35, which is right there. Set the factor value to 0. Keyframe it. Go to the very end of your scene. Go 35 frames before that, which in my case is, I believe, 265. keyframe it at 0 and go to the very end, keyframe it at 1. That will have like a fade out effect. Now what we're going to do is add a box mask. To do this, add a color mix, set it to multiply, and hit add matte box mask. Drag this into the input and set the first value to 1.1, the second value to 0.4. This should add a box mask to the scene. Why is that not working? Maybe this one was a alpha over. I'm gonna delete that. Maybe this will work. Why is that not rendering correctly? What? Oh! I just deleted everything. I know why. Make sure you're not on the end frame or the beginning frame, because you actually set that to fade in and fade out to black, so make sure you're generally towards the middle. Whew. Now it should render out correctly. Yeah. So it's Shift A, color mix, multiply, add matte box mask. Put this in here, 1.1.4. That should add a little, like, wide feature. Yep, there we go. That'll make it look a little better. You can tweak these two to make them different lengths, but I'm also going to add a alpha over node, and also add a matte ellipse mask, width to 1.1 again, height 0.5, width actually just 1. That should add like another ellipse. Yeah, that didn't work. Maybe another one of these nodes. Drag this into here. Dang, I keep missing. There we go. Will that work? If not, we'll set this to add, see if that works. Whenever I'm making one, I always, yeah, that works, so keep it at that, and I'm actually going to add a filter blur to the ellipse mask. Just keep it at Gaussian 20, maybe. Now, after you've added that, the ellipse mask should, that's taking too long to render. I'm gonna try just fast Gaussian. Relative Y 20. Was that gonna take forever to render too? No, actually no. So you can see now that you have a slight tint around the outside of black, blurred out a little bit. I'm actually going to go to a frame where the word is near the edge of the screen, like right here, and it's going to render that and actually put it here, and let's see if that actually blurs, sort of blurs out what's on the edges. I know this node setup looks kind of complicated, but I watched several of these tutorials, and it's actually not too hard. I mean, I watched the video like twice, I believe, and now I can do this node setup by memory. It's not a specific node setup, I'm just kind of adding stuff until it looks the way I want it. I know the nodes that I need. So as you can see, you have the little ellipse mask, And now what I'm going to do is actually add a glare to everything. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to add a glare node to just the first layer where right out of the alpha over. I'm going to add it to set it ghosts. Threshold will be 0.2. Let's see how that turns out. If not, we'll change it to fog glow. It's not affecting it that much. Iterations 8. Is 5 the highest it can go? Color modulation 0. Set that to fog glow. Why is that not changing? I don't even know. What if threshold's at 6? What does that even? I don't even know what threshold changes. See what that changes? Nothing. Size 4. 4. Why does it even stop at 6? I don't understand. That's got a slight glare. Chirp to 9. See how that changes it? I'm actually gonna change the size 7, magic number 7 I typed in. Okay. See how that changes it? Ghosts. Let's try this one more time. Because Ghosts has a cool effect on one of mine. Oh, dang. That's I'm actually gonna add a color alpha over so that I can control how much that this is affecting the scene. So I've got my ghosts module here, and when that renders it should look like very bright. Now if I change the threshold to 0.2, will that change? Point 1. Slightly brighter. I'm going to keep the threshold at 0.125. Actually 0. Change a factor to 0.5. Let's see how that looks. Factor to 0.25. Okay, I'm gonna change this to fog glow. Now that we know it's affecting our scene, it didn't really look like it was changing anything earlier. So it's a little brighter. I'm just gonna leave it at that. I'm also going to add an alpha over node. I'm gonna add a filter, no, a distort scale. Put that into here and over to here. Now what I can do is set this factor input to 0. Find a drop that I like and that it gives a clear view of the word. So let's watch this through. See, you see that's lagging like a lot, but I'm just gonna find a drop right here. I'm actually gonna do it right here. No, hold on. Yeah, this is like the perfect. So right here, I'm going to change this factor and put to 0.5, and we change the X and Y to 2. I'm actually going to keyframe those both. I'm actually going to go 5 frames before that, so to here, around, keyframe that at 0, keyframe these both at 1, and sometime after here, I'm just going to go like here, set the factor back to 0, Y back to 1, and unfortunately, there's no way to view what this will turn out looking like right now. You're going to have to trust me on this one. It's going to end up looking pretty cool. It's going to, there's one way to see it, and that's all I can do to do that is render 1 frame from after the drop. Wait, no, at the drop. I'm actually going to see if I can render it right at the drop. So you can see it has that word there, a little distortion of it here, and basically at that drop it's gonna like shoot out the word, I guess. Shoot out the word. Kind of like that. I don't know how to explain it, but it like has a projection of itself shot forward right at the drop. It gives it a cool effect. If I render it right here at the drop, it could possibly be more visible. While that's happening, I'm going to add a blur filter to it after I see it, what it looks like. Like that. I'm going to add a fast Gaussian relative on the y-axis blur at 5%, I'm going to say. See how that changes our scene. Not 5%. How about 1%? That's looking good. 1% is good for me. Now I'm going to, that might actually be all that I need. For real. I feel like I'm missing something, but I really don't think I am. I'm trying to think, see if I missed anything. Well, I think that's it. You can mess around with these settings, find out what you want. You can change all these blues that I've been making to red if you like red words or something. Any color you want, really. I'm gonna go back to the normal scene. Go to the rendering options. This is all that's left to set up. I set up most of them at the beginning. So 30 FPS. Remember, do not change the frame rate after you've made the intro because it will mess up all your keyframing and all your hard work for nothing. Make sure you save it before you render. So like, I'm going to press save before I render in case something goes wrong. So I'm going to set the output to, let's say, my desktop at my Blender animations section. I'm going to set it to caps lock's on, tube intro tutorial. So now that I have that, I have where I want it and what it's named. Make sure your audio codec's MP3, or else the video will not render. The video will not render with sound. You'll get a video without sound. I have mine set to H.264, format AVI, codec H.264, audio codec MP3. And yeah, that's pretty much it. All that's left to do is hit this animation button and wait for it to animate, or you can come up here, hit render, and render animation. So that's pretty much it for my how to make an intro tutorial. If you want to see it without the node set up, what it looks like, here it is. So this template will be available for download on our website. I will leave the link in the description. I will leave the link to our website in the description below, and you can find the intro templates that I make under collection. Well, as of now, you can find them under collections, and then go to intro templates, I believe it is. This might change in the future. I might make it a account only, where you have to make an account. Don't worry, it's free. To get the intro template, you might have to make an account, but that's not how it is right now. So you can download this template, and to change it, all you have to do is change the word Blender to your name by pressing tab, and then your name. And then one thing you have to do after that is set origin geometry to origin. Do that for both of these, and then you can play it where it says your name. So I'm actually gonna keep it at Blender. So one more time. The name of this song will also be in the description below. Remember, you can download this template for free and edit it if you want. And I will probably, after it's done rendering, release what the final product is. Sometime either tonight, which is unlikely since it's not going to render in an hour for me, probably like 2 hours or something. It's not going to take like 15 minutes to render, so I'm not expecting for it to be done today, but I will release that as soon as I can. If you enjoy this video, please leave a like. It helps get this channel going. I really like it when I see that my videos have likes. It makes me want to keep making more videos, more tutorials, and yeah. If you enjoyed this, remember, if you want to see more content, just subscribe to the channel. I make Blender content only as of now, except for like 1 or 2 videos so far. But yeah, I will see you in the next video.